Hello YouTubers, this is Karma here with a late recap because guess what this week was? Finals week! Ugh, I know a lot of you out there are feeling my pain. I just haven't watched Dollhouse yet, so I finally watched it late, I know. So yeah, this is the season 1 finale of Dollhouse called Omega. A lot of notes for this one. Instead of grouping the storylines, I'm actually going to be doing it in chronological order. So first off, Dr. Saunders is screaming like, Victor, his face, because like it's moments after what happened last episode. Echo's GPS is stripped so they can't track her, and Dr. Saunders says he asked me if I always wanted to be a doctor. So she kind of knows that she is an imprint, which one of my YouTubers, one of my fans or video watchers actually told me that's what they thought, that Dr. Saunders was a doll. So kudos to you, you rock, thank you for giving me the heads up. Let's see, Echo is imprinted with an old imprint, kind of. They have a hostage in the back seat. Why does this camera keep moving? They have a hostage in the back seat with like lethal imprints. And what happened was, it's a flashback, we don't know it. Dr. Saunders was a doll, her name was Whiskey, and they were interrogating people and it kind of went a little far, but she was like the #1 doll. She was the Echo of her day. Someone called in a terrorist threat on the dollhouse. Paul goes out and takes care of it. He says, I found the dollhouse, just come with me, but his co-worker doesn't believe him. Let's see, every personality that Echo's ever been imprinted with is gone, Topher finds out. Alpha made his own chair, he's going to imprint Echo. Dr. Saunders actually used to be a doctor in the dollhouse before Alpha went cuckoo, and he was a man. Like I said, Dr. Saunders, the one we know now, Amy Acker's character, her name was Whiskey. Alpha sees Caroline when she first comes in getting a tour of the dollhouse, and that's when his fascination sort of starts. Alpha imprints the girl with Caroline. So the hostage they have, he imprints her with Caroline's imprint. Let's see. Paul... That has nothing to do with it. Paul is asking Topher who was Alpha afterwards, after he got imprinted. And he's like, what are you talking about? Topher says he got imprinted with 48 personalities. He was no one. But then we learn to find out that the first person he actually went after, technically, besides like his handler and everybody in his way, was after his original self, whose name was Carl Kraft. He went after his original imprint and smashed it up. He smashed up Caroline's original imprint back up, so he actually has Caroline's wedge, the actual Caroline. And he puts it in a different body, and he's talking to her, he's talking to Echo, Elazadishki's character, saying, this is where I'm kind of trying to do the best I can, saying she left you when you needed her the most, and she's imprinted with somebody else, she doesn't know what the heck's going on. Flash back to the dollhouse. Whiskey used to be the #1 most requested, like I said, her handler says she's #1, and they're grooming like bonsai trees in the dollhouse, and Alpha says, Whiskey, let Echo be #1, and that's when he first slices her face, Zorro style, with, you know, his imprint, or his, not imprint, what's the word, signature, kind of, I guess. Let's see, and then they put him in the chair, and he hit his handler, and his handler, like, whooshed back, and that's when everything went into overload, and all those personalities got in him, and then he kills his handler, and that's pretty much where the pilot-ish first, second episode starts, pretty much after that. Paul asks who was Alpha at his core, like he has to be somebody, and that's, like I said, we found out who he really was. He was actually someone in jail, so they used to test some people in jail, giving them like an option, like you can come 5 years with us to finish out your sentence when they first started the dollhouse. So that's pretty much, Alpha, the real guy, was in jail, so yeah, great guy to pick for an imprint, right? Paul and Boyd go track down the girl that he took hostage, and I love Paul and Boyd together. Paul would have made a great handler, but him and Boyd are kind of in similar situations, so they're picking the lesser of two evils. Second page. Echo gets imprinted with like a bunch of all of her past personalities, which is awesome. Like, can you imagine like how crazy that is? Because she's had really cool personalities, but she got imprinted with all of them at the same time. Alpha created his Omega, and she hits Alpha and says, "You wanted me to kill myself?" because he wanted her to kill Caroline. And he says, "I don't have multiple personalities, I have many personalities. One of my imprints has multiple personalities," but that's besides the point. He talks about like Nietzsche's Superman idea, and I'm not going to get into that. Basically that they're going to be superior. And she's like, "No, we're not." Switchback. The girl, Paul and Boyd are at the girl's apartment building, who Alpha was before. His name was Carl Kraft. The girl he took hostage to get into jail, and Boyd says his real person might have had nothing to do with why he went crazy. And then the girl comes out and her face is sliced. So you know what? This is like in depth in his core. In his soul, he was a bad person, or you know, a criminal, and that's, in my opinion, most likely why he still kind of went kind of cuckoo. Let's see. Echo knocks Alpha out, or Echo's all her imprints. She talks to Caroline and says, "You know what? It's time to go home. Let's put us back together. You're gonna come in my body, and you'll be right again." And she's like, "Okay, that sounds great." So Caroline's gonna go back in Echo's body and be Caroline again. But then Alpha shoots the body of Caroline, and she's dead. Boyd, let's see. Okay, I'm not gonna get into too many details. Alpha has the wedge of Caroline's imprint, and he has a gun, and she says, "Go ahead and shoot it. I don't care. I'm beyond it now." Blah blah. They go onto the top of like this building. He throws the imprint on a ledge. Meanwhile, Paul and Boyd are seeing what's going on. Echo / her imprints is out there, and then her shoulder hurts because she got shot by Alpha. She drops the imprint, and then Paul catches it. She says, "You saved her," or "You saved me," or "Saved the girl." Dr. Saunders talks to Topher, and she doesn't want to know who she originally was. She says it's a little weird that Topher made her hate him. That was a little weird to imprint it that way. And Topher feels kind of bad. Alpha still escaped. Paul is going to be the new contractor for the Dollhouse, but he's getting somebody released. And I'm sitting here watching it thinking, "Oh, he got Echo released," and I was like, wait, how's that gonna work? Because Eliza Dushku is the show. And then he got Melly / November released. She got her old life back. That was really nice of Paul. I'm like, oh, I love you, Paul. So Paul's a new contractor for the Dollhouse, and Topher feels really bad after he wipes Echo, and Echo kind of puts her hand like on his heart and then walks away. So I kind of like the whole Topher-Echo relationship. That was really interesting to me. And then Paul says, "I didn't get your name," and Melly / November tells him her real name. And she goes, "And you?" And he goes, "I'm nobody." That's the theme of the Dollhouse. And Echo's going to bed in her little flower-shaped beds, all those drawers that they slide over when they go to bed. And she whispers, "Caroline." And then that's the end of that first season. Really super good episode. I know this is really late, but hey, favorite this video so that you can remember what happened, or you can just watch all my recaps if and when the show gets renewed. I don't know about that. Someone can comment me the news on that, and that way you can watch it, remember what happened. Really good episode. Yeah, I took a lot of notes, which is why it's kind of hard with Dollhouse, because it's one of the shows I really have to write down stuff or else I will forget. Really good episode. Paul working for the Dollhouse, who knew? That was a twist, and Melly / November's gone. So I'm going to be interested to see how this all works out in season 2, if there is one. What's the storyline? Because this whole storyline was about kind of Alpha, so I'm interested to see, are they still going to reuse the Alpha thing, or what's season 2 going to bring to the table? Because this one took kind of a lot to get off the ground. Some momentum. For me personally, the first couple I was like waiting, and then finally it just kind of went off the ground for me. So hopefully it'll stay up there. But that's it. So comment, rate, subscribe, and thanks for watching all of my Dollhouse recaps, guys. Seriously, I know these videos tend to be kind of long, but I haven't gotten complaints about it. Really, it was a really different show for me to be doing, and I thank you guys for your encouragement about keeping doing these, because I probably would have stopped about 5 episodes ago, but you guys kind of kept, you know, when's your Dollhouse recap going to be up, or love your Dollhouse recap. So thank you so much to all of my subscribers who watch these, because you guys are the reason that I do this. I do it for you guys. So that's it, and hopefully I'll see you for season 2. Bye!